Welcome back to Talkin Shop with ShopSabre. I'm Brandon, back with the gang after a week off. Got Chad, Nick, Travis, and Kai, way over in the edge of the room over there. How you doing, Chad?
At it. Good.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm back.
How was the vacation?
I'm sorry. Can you even hear me? You don't have mic. You don't have headphones on anymore.
I'm an outsider.
You're an outsider. Yeah, my vacation was good. Thank you. We went to the water parks. We ended up actually going to the Dells. We went to the, what do you call the thing? A wild.
Wisconsin Dells.
No, the wild resort, or I don't know.
I thought you were going to go to the one in
That's where we
Bloomington.
were going. That's where they was supposed to go.
Oh, okay.
And then it turned into, well, it's only a 3-hour drive to go to the actual Dells. Like, let's just go there, and it's the closer drive for her because her friends lived in Indiana. So it was like, we can literally go to the real ones, and it's a lot closer to you.
So you were sort of right the other day when you said that.
That's why I swore.
Yeah.
I thought I asked him
We were
that.
arguing back and forth, and I finally just gave up because I thought Chad was going to punch me.
Well,
I'm like, maybe you're right.
yeah, no, he's 100% right. We were going there, and then it was just, obviously, that doesn't have as much. It's one building. It's not as big. It's one water park. Where we went, there was like 4 water parks in one building, and go-karts, which, by the way, my kids are super into go-karting. We found out that every morning it opens at 8 a.m., and my kid was the first in line.
Did they keep it on the track?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
yeah, my
good,
kids were really good at that. They don't follow their dad's footsteps. They don't crash.
Nobody rolled.
No, nobody rolled, unfortunately. Sometimes you have to push the limits, but nobody did. Although my wife's best friend, her husband, God, that was a long way to get there. Her husband pit maneuvered this girl who was like 12 years old trying to pass me. It was phenomenal. It was awesome. He decided that he was going to pass me at all costs, and there was a girl between him and I, and he did not brake, and he spun her out. And then she came off, and the best was she came off the ride, and she stared him down the entire time to the edge. And as we're walking like to the exit, I heard the girl go, "Mom, that's the guy who spun me out," and pointed right at him. And I was like, I just turned around and I was like, "Yep, that's the guy. He's right there. That was the one."
Would have been funny if they kicked him out.
Oh no, they didn't even like black flag him. They were like, I think they kind of looked at her like, "Yeah, you're kind of in the way," because we were definitely racing and she was definitely in the way. So, but like I said, it was fun. We all had a good time, and she was actually laughing. Like she was laughing too when it was done because obviously he apologized to her, but she was being funny to her mom, and then I called her out or him out in front of all of them. It was pretty funny. So, good time though. Yeah, like I said, I'm all swimming out though. You can only spend so many hours at a water park. What are you doing to my
Turning
mic?
your microphone.
I know. Did you see that?
Oh,
It
you
just-
guys are tangled up.
Oh, we're all tangled. This is how things go wrong. Oh
gonna
no!
be a loud
Oh
bang.
no!
Yeah, there's definitely a lot
Something
of
is
cables.
going on here.
It's just black cable.
Oh man. Okay. Well,
We'll just
so
live
everybody
with it.
at home can know what's going on here. Travis is trying to adjust his mic, and it keeps pulling my mic away from me. So we're in a tug of war contest currently at the moment. So this is going well. But yeah. So how was your guys' week? I know. Did you guys show up to work every day or
Half days.
half days?
We had a rotation of who worked from home and who came in.
Yeah.
Oh, is that how it worked?
Yeah, we all covered for each other.
That worked
Oh.
out pretty good.
That's why when you showed
worked
up
out
that one day and thought Micah was just at lunch, yeah, he wasn't.
That was his day to work from home.
And the corporations sit there in their corporation buildings and see that they're all corporation-y and they make money.
That's how it's supposed to happen, guys. You're supposed to be all corporation-y and you're supposed to make money. Not supposed to spend half days at home.
I had a pretty good week.
Well, yeah, I'd say. But was it good because you're doing good, or is it good because you were only here half the time?
It's good because I'm doing good, and I was only here half the time.
Blew it up.
Some days he was the only one here to get leads, so he took them all.
That's how that worked, huh, guys? So what'd you guys do this weekend? Anything fun? I know Easter.
Getting ready to hit the links.
Yeah. Did you watch the Masters?
Oh, yeah, of
Did you?
course.
Yeah, I
Won
figured
some
that.
He
money.
won some money, yeah.
Yeah. You picked the winner?
Old Rombo.
You picked the winner.
Oh, yeah.
Good for you. What about you?
We went and saw the Mario movie on Saturday. That was
Awesome
fun.
movie.
It was really good.
I liked it.
Did you guys dress up?
I did not. No.
No. I already look like Toad. I don't need to.
No, it was really good. The only thing that happened was my 6-year-old kept like predicting what was going to happen next, and I'm like, dude, can you just be quiet for like a minute so I can enjoy this and not know what's happening?
Well, I'm the best there is, plain and simple. I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence.
That's pretty much what she was telling you.
Pretty much, yeah.
Just make her go sit with another family.
Not a bad idea. Actually. Really not a bad idea.
That's funny. What about you, Travis? Anything fun?
The wife and I rode the new pit bikes.
That's
Did the
cool.
carburetor
Did she
upgrade.
ride it though, or
she loves
she
it?
did?
Dude.
She was scared of it the last time.
At first, she was scared, and now it's super funny. She'll creep up on me, and since hers is an automatic, she'll just shit can it, and she'll come way by me, like fly, and it scares the crap out of me. But yeah, and then we went on the Harley. So now it's Harley season. Snowmobile's gone for the season.
I think Travis turned his basement into a water park.
That's what I heard. I know he was all.
He wants to see me do a big ass stunt.
And then he turned his basement into a water park.
Yeah, she probably checked the sump pump, but we got her fixed.
Did you get it all figured out?
Yeah, switcher's stuck.
Wow.
It's functioning now.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that it's all under control now.
Damage has already been done, though.
Yeah.
The basement's definitely...
How bad's the floor?
A lot of tiles that are popping up, and the walls are now swelling, so they're popping more tiles as the days go on.
I heard Chad's really good at taking care of projects like that. You want him to come over? He can give you an estimate.
10 grand.
This one's 15 for sure.
You might want to take him up on
I was
that.
going to say that actually might be cheaper than
15
what
might
it was
be
gonna
cheap. So.
I'll pull these things off and bring them over.
Wait a second. They're finally on the wall.
Yeah, various responsibilities.
Not
within
very
the
well. It
crew,
wasn't
kind
done
of
by a
jack of all
professional.
Trades, really.
Was it done by a professional?
Correct.
Well, it was me.
Exactly.
I'm a trained professional at everything. Semi-professional, professional at nothing. Sound fair?
Sounds fair.
Sounds
good.
like Chad's golf skill level. Semi-pro, from what I've heard.
What you'll see soon.
Live tour.
Live tour.
Live tour 2027.
I'll be caddying for him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You're going to carry his clubs?
Give me 10%. We can just go
We're
on
still
tour.
going to ride in the cart.
And you don't get a cart when you're on that. Don't you have to walk?
Well, yeah, if you were getting paid.
Oh, man. I like the new sound
Say
effects.
you're in love with that thing, right?
Yeah, this
aren't you?
thing's awesome. It's really exciting that.
Good job, Kyle.
Kyle.
Attabout,
I'm taking
Kyle.
it. Good job. Kyle, how was your weekend? Was it good?
Yes.
He
The 3
leans.
minutes that it took me to get over here. No, it was really nice. My mom's 60th, is coming up, so we had a little bit of an Easter celebration, a little early celebration.
Sweet. Was there cake?
There was cake, yeah,
Sweet.
red velvet. Some,
What?
Nice.
Reese's icing.
Did you bring me any?
I did not.
Oh,
no, it
that's
was
a
all
fail.
finished. My dad ate probably half of it, so.
Good for him.
Yeah.
I'm proud of him because I would have eaten the other half. Can't blame him. Red velvet cake. Solid. But yeah, I know it's been a couple weeks now since we've done an episode. I appreciate everybody being patient with us. But we're back for episode 100. We made it.
That's crazy.
Triple digits. Triple digits. Who knew? But yeah, we talked last week about greatness, or 2 weeks ago about greatness, and hopefully you guys actually were great while I was gone. But in all seriousness, I thought we'd talk a little bit about education and support. I figured for the big 100, it's a good topic, and it's something that I think sets us really apart from a lot of our competition, and hopefully, it's something that people don't think about enough that we can draw some attention to. What do you guys think?
I agree.
I was thinking, when you're investing in your shop, I think a big part of what you need to consider in whatever you invest in is the support that comes with whatever you're doing, right? Or the education that you have related to the topic. And, I guess I have a question right out of the bat for you guys. Have you guys ever bought a product and not received education or support from the company, and then you really needed it? Or what product have you purchased, if there is a product that you can think about, where you've purchased and you had the support and education included, and you were certainly happy that you ended up getting it? I guess the flip side, if you didn't do it the other way, what's one product that you did and you were just super thrilled that you got it because you don't think you could have made it without it?
I mean, for me, I know a couple summers ago when I bought a pizza oven to have it on my patio.
Yeah.
It showed. I bought it from a place over in England. I mean, I did a lot of research on the ones to buy, and I know a lot of times people get a little bit leery about buying things from overseas, not knowing if it's a smart idea, if you're gonna actually get it or whatever. But it showed up, and the stone inside of the oven somehow came loose from how they had it taped in, and it was cracked when I took it out of the box. So thankfully, they had great support, and I called them up, and I had one in less than a week that they replaced.
Nice.
But I think had I not done the research and bought something that was maybe less money or from a different company that didn't have support and it showed up that way, I might have just been out the money that I spent on it and not had it replaced.
Yeah, I mean, and that it's so simple. It's something so little. Right away, I'll be honest. You said pizza oven. I'm like, how hard is it to use one of those, right?
That's what I was thinking.
But it's a good point, though. It's it's the support when something happens that's unexpected. it's easy to get support and expect support when you're dealing with something that you expect them to help you with, right? But something like that where it's kind of just a rare freak incident that happened, it's good that they, were there to support you and back you up. For me, I'm going to kind of jump in real quick. I think about things like the website design and things that we've done with our website. And, when we built our new website, I had no idea what I was doing. Like, I'm going to be honest, I'm not a web guy. And I didn't even know what to expect, to be honest with you. I just kind of was like, make it work, And for me, it was just nice to be able to know that we were going to be able to grow as a company. And I didn't have to be an expert in web design. Like, I could tell them what my ideas were, my thoughts, and they were able to implement them. And, that said, it's something that I've gotten better at with time. I've learned it. But how was I going to manage something that I knew nothing about, So having that support and somebody that you could rely on that's a big part of our business is the website and where people learn about these machines and how they educate themselves, right? So to me, that was a big part of things that I'm happy I did get support with, because had I not had the support there, we could have been, really kind of out to dry in certain situations.
And you probably would have noticed on the website.
Well, yeah, I think people would have talked about it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, your website's a big part of your business, right? They're either going to say good things about you or bad things based on what they see because they don't know anything else. And if I had done it wrong, I think it could have portrayed our company to be a lot worse than it is.
I agree.
Well, and if they show up on your website looking for something and can't find what they're looking for because you have a wonky website and not something that's organized and easy for them to find things, they're just going to go and find it somewhere else.
Or it loads and that they haven't done anything with it since the early 2000s.
Right.
Yep.
I think about the IT department with computers, being able to, anytime I have a computer issue, to be able to just pick up the phone and call somebody and say, hey, this is what it's doing, because I really have no idea how to fix it.
Well, that's the truth, too. Sometimes you just don't know.
Yep.
You don't know what you don't know. And especially with that, IT, I feel like computers, like, one day they work fine, the next day, like, how did this just stop working,
Chad and I both had that same issue today.
And it was just easy to pick up the phone and get somebody on there. They can log right into the computer, and he's there figuring it out for me, so I'm not wasting a whole bunch of my time.
Other weaknesses, we're slow learners, and we're not particularly good listeners.
That's the other problem we have, that we may not be the best person to do our own IT. They'd be like, can you please do this? And we're going to be like, I'm sorry, I don't know what button that is.
Well, I think I do pretty good at IT. I always restart my computer before calling them.
I make sure it's plugged in, and I restart it.
So it's the first thing they ask.
Yeah, but that's the truth, though, is it's like, being able to rely on somebody else so you can get back to doing what you do versus having to try to figure it out on your own. What about you? Travis, you got to have a story here, man.
Well,
You've
what I
bought
was
lots
thinking,
of crap in your life.
what I was thinking of, beyond my personal life, our new CRMs and stuff we got here.
Oh, yeah.
If we had not had any type of support on that, I would have been done for. I had a lot to learn in both the quoting systems and the CRM.
So am I your support?
You did a lot.
I was just going to say that. I was going to just say that.
Because Chad does pick up on stuff way quicker than I do. And I'm always like, Chad, how the hell did you do that? You sit down, I'll show you. It's like, all right.
Well, that's it is kind of a support network, though, if you think about it, having each other to rely on.
I had to ask somebody.
Right.
So it's not like I just looked at it and knew.
Yeah. But that's the difference, is like once you've learned it, being able to support people around you. And it's the same thing. Like you said, support the CRM, some of the stuff we've done. Again, I think that goes back to my purchases. Like when I've looked at different support or different CRMs, I looked at a lot of them. And I considered a lot of different things. And there was some cheaper ones than the ones we ended up investing in. But a big part of why I selected the one that we had to do with the fact that it came with support and training. And in the event that you guys needed something, it wasn't going to all fall on my shoulders. Otherwise, I had to learn it. And then I had to teach 35 plus people how to use a new CRM. No thanks.
Right.
That sounds miserable. So yeah, but let's talk a little bit about support and education for a second. With the ShopSabre, with the ShopSabre in general, you get included support, correct?
Lifetime.
Okay, so it's for the life of the original ownership. Plus, we provide you with training, do we not?
Correct.
We do.
And full access to Sabre Nation University as well, if I'm not mistaken. Correct, guys?
Yep.
We're all on the same page, right? Perfect. So let's discuss the importance of having this included support and training. Like when you think about it, what's your thoughts on that? Let's think about it from a ShopSabre perspective, and hopefully people at home think about it in a way that portrays to their business a little bit. But on our end, the support in the education that we provide, what's your guys' thoughts?
I think it's huge because within minutes we can be logged right into the computer and telling you what's going on while we have you on the phone. It's the same thing with calling the IT department this morning. They just logged right into my computer and started doing things, and I just sat back and answered questions.
How many companies tell you they provide support?
I think they all say they'll provide some kind of support, but how long and how valuable it is are the two other questions.
Yeah, exactly, because they're going to say they have support, right? That's what I was trying to get to, is every company's going to tell you they come with support, right?
Yep.
But some of them...
You sit on a throne of lies.
They lie.
Well, some of the companies, the same person selling you the machine is going to be the same person supporting it.
Right.
And with us, we have a team of much smarter people than me and Travis.
Well, that...
Mainly Travis.
Well, I was just going to say, like, it's actually not a bad point, because not that the both of you aren't smart when it comes to that stuff, but you're not techs. Mm-hmm. I mean, you both know a lot about the CNC industry, and I will vouch for you both. That I've been fortunate enough. I've interviewed enough sales guys over the years, and I know enough of our competitors and their companies, and we've talked to enough people. And some of the stuff these guys say isn't truthful all the time, right? Sometimes it's just lack of education. They just know what they've been told to say. Yep. But you guys, being consultants, have the ability to learn a lot more. I think one thing that's unique about us is we educate and support our employees a lot more than the average customer or
100%.
company, excuse me. And therefore it allows you to support and educate our customers better. But you think about some of these other companies that, like you said, Chad, the sales guy is your support guy. And it sounds great at the moment because the guy's at your shop, right? How many times do you hear that? Like, oh, they come out to my shop, they're here, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, so who's coming to your shop when you need support? Well, he is. He's going to come right out here. He told me if you need anything, I'm going to be the guy who comes out and helps. How many people has he told that to? 50?
Probably everyone he talks to.
That's my point. So if he sold 50 machines in his life, which would you guys consider that to be a successful sales guy?
No.
No.
Well, that's my point, right? So if you sold 50 machines and had to support 50, think about the burden that you have there. Plus, you're trying to sell machines. And do you make money on selling machines, or do they make money on servicing the machine?
Selling.
Yeah, they're a sales guy. So they're your local guy, your area rep, but there's only one of him or only two of them, right? And therefore, they can only be in one or two places at one time. And you tell me this, if they're going to be selling a machine to somebody in the area who's got to give them a check, or they got to fix a broken machine, where are they going first?
Guy that's giving him the check.
Right? The guy who's filling his pocket. Mm-hmm. So the support long-term isn't really going to be a satisfactory experience, in my opinion. Because there's going to be a day when 3 people call that need help.
And he's on vacation.
Or he's on vacation. Yeah, he went to the Wisconsin Dells. I saw him. He finished 3rd place in that race, in case you're wondering. But no, in all seriousness, that's the thing is that, yeah, they're either on vacation, they're out sick, or they're just busy. Mm-hmm. Not that they don't want to help you, but Nick called first, so I'm at Nick's shop when Chad calls. Am I going to tell Nick, hey, yo, peace, Nick, Chad called?
Probably not.
Probably not. The likelihood of Nick being cool with me leaving to go work on Chad's machine while his machine's down is probably slim to none. So he's going to tell you, yeah, Chad, I'll be over there as soon as I finish this job. Might be today, might be tomorrow. Might be next week. I don't know. I don't know what that schedule looks like. But what do you do in the meantime?
Sit there with the broken machine.
Correct. So when you get a company like ShopSabre who provides you lifetime tech support and education with a dedicated staff and crew, that's a little bit more convenient, right? Because you know that their entire job and the entire reason they exist is to take care of customers. And when they have a large department like we have, rather than one guy, you know that there's always going to be a guy available.
That's what I was just going to say. Like, you have people here that know the machines and know what you're calling for and talk to you based on what you're saying, not like some computer system that they're logging into and they ask you a question and then depending on what you reply, that's what they're going to tell you next. People have no idea. Sometimes you call and you call them up and they're like, okay, well, what they want to know what you have. And then they're just entering in the computer and giving you canned replies. Like, our guys here know the machines, know how they work, and they're answering your question based on what you're asking, not just what a computer's telling them to say.
Yeah.
Correct.
Well, that's exactly it. Is that a lot of these guys, they're reading from a script, if you will. It's not even that they are not really diagnosing your issue. They're reading it from what do you even call it? There's a word for it. It's like I want to say hierarchy, but it's not a hierarchy. It's You know what I'm talking about? The little
Trouble tree.
Trouble tree. I like it.
Something like that.
Yeah, but it's a tree. Thank you. And they, you know, hey, step 1 is this. Step 2 is this. Step 3 is this.
If yes, go over here.
Correct.
Flowchart.
If no, go
Correct.
over here.
It's
Exactly.
a flow chart of yes or no answers.
Correct.
And then they finally get to the end, and if it's not
And
fixed,
the problem is, it's frustrating as hell because you've all been on the other side of those phone calls where they're like, "Sir, have you plugged it in?" You nailed it. You're right. That was the problem. Like, I never had it running ever in my entire life. Yes, it's plugged in. Okay. Is it turned on? Oh, okay. Yes, it's on. Okay. Is the power green lighted? Yep. I said it was on. Okay. Have you checked the monitor? Okay. At what point are we going to get to troubleshooting this thing? Have you restarted it? Have you tried restarting it? Like, let's start at step 3. I promise you, I've already swore at it, I've unplugged it, and I plugged it back in. I promise you that's all happened.
And
already.
I've kicked it twice.
Yeah, I've done that
So
before
let's
you
skip
got
that
here.
question,
yeah.
too.
I got all that out of the way before you called you. I promise you, I'm on step 4 now. I'm on the I don't know what the hell to do, and I need somebody to help me that's smarter than me. So that's where the support comes in my opinion. You know, is that's where you really need is people that understand the real life scenarios. And obviously, I'm not making fun of people who ask some of those questions because you have to, right? I mean, some of it is just understanding your client. I mean, I'll be honest, we've had customers, unfortunately, where we've skipped step 1. I didn't ask somebody if it was plugged in because I assumed it was plugged in, and we found out after a 15-minute runabout that no, there's no power going to it. There's our problem. But it's rare, you know? So you kind of try to help customers get past that first stage. I'd rather be wrong in 1 out of 1,000 people because I didn't ask if you plugged it in than to waste your time asking if you plugged it in. I'm going to assume that you plugged it in and make sure that you've done the bare minimum. But there are many cases where people don't have that support network. It's you go out to a forum and you type in a question, you have to wait for somebody to respond. Or you have to go to the user group and ask existing users what their experience was. Like, you're learning from veteran users and people who are, you know, very experienced customers, right? That's, to me, not support. It's great to have a network of those people, but when something's going wrong, I want to call the company that built the thing.
Right. I think a lot of those groups anybody can join too. If I'm not mistaken, I'm a part of a couple of them. That's how I know.
Well, it's true. Like, I'm a part of many groups, and there's several groups that I'm a part of that they, you know, I've helped. I'll be honest. I've answered people's questions in other people's groups because I know what's going on, and I'm like, I'll just answer the question. And I've done it. And it's one of those things where, I mean, that's a benefit to some of these groups, but there's so many times that I see a question get asked, and then it gets derailed by 3 other people having a sidebar conversation about something completely different, or somebody jumps in with, well, you shouldn't have bought that one. You should have bought that. Like, cool. Thanks for telling me I suck, but what's wrong with it? You know, like,
no help at all.
Exactly. Like, it just wastes your time. So it's like, I would rather just call the professionals. Like, I'm a huge believer in just pick the phone up and call somebody. First off, I'm not an internet guy. I hate the internet. Like, I hate going out to the internet. It's weird sounding in it, right? From a guy who's in charge of internet and marketing. But I hate it because I feel like it's used as a weapon more than it's used as a tool nowadays.
For sure.
Like, and I'm not just saying about for business. I'm talking about just in general.
It's just easy for people to hop on there and say things and not have to worry about anything that's going to happen from what they say.
Correct. Exactly. I say back in the day, like, if you said something to somebody, it was to their face, and then you got punched in the nose for saying the wrong thing. Right? Guys like Chad would just pummel you to the ground because he's not going to take your crap.
Yep.
But the reality is nowadays, like, yeah, they just go on and bully people on the internet, you know, and it's because everybody's big there, and they think that's their power. And rather than trying to solve the issue and allowing somebody to help you, it turns into this big, you know, act of, I don't know how to even describe it, but it's just, you know, trying to berate a company for a lot of times something that's
unnecessary.
It's not even their control. Like, I've seen a lot, and it's not even our product. I'm just referring to some other, even competitors' products. I've seen something where it's clearly a customer doing, and they're just killing the competitor, you know? And I'm like, as the competitor, I'm like, okay. Like, even I want to jump in and protect them because it's like, it's just not right. Like, we as a society have gotten so used to that being normal. And it's kind of that mob mentality, if you will, right? One guy starts something, so then it's just every person jumping in that has ever had a sour taste in their mouth.
Yep.
But meanwhile, 99% of the time, there's 10 people standing there watching it that actually love the product, but they just don't want to get teamed up on, so they don't say anything.
Yep, for sure.
So now it turns into that, and it's like, okay, well, nobody's going to help you solve it because now they're all afraid to jump in, right? So that's the other benefit to, I think, having real support is that you know that it's just going to get resolved. We're gonna call them. You're gonna call us. Whatever. So to me, that's the advantage of ShopSabre right there. Is that I'm not gonna force you to go to a forum. I'm not gonna send you through that nightmare of a of a fact finding. And the other problem is sometimes people, they aren't professionals, so they misdiagnose things.
Yeah,
well, your problem is this. Yep.
They just guess.
Yeah.
Could be this.
That was the same with me and Travis's computer problem this morning. Same exact symptoms, but 2 different problems on our computers.
Yep.
He needed something installed, and I had a complete other mess going on.
But that's my point, is like posting it online would have resulted in completely chasing a rabbit.
Or if Travis said to me, this is how you fix it.
Right.
Because it's the same thing. His way wouldn't have fixed my computer.
And then you're more frustrated.
Even though we had the same issue.
Yep. And then you're more frustrated, right?
Exactly.
Because now you've wasted a bunch more time doing a bunch of stuff that didn't work. So now you really think your computer's screwed up.
Versus he transferred me the IT guy, and he logged into my computer, and we talked, and I told him, showed him some stuff, and we were just slightly different with what it was doing, but it was the same. We had to wait for it to print.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Mm-hmm.
But that's exactly what people, I think, sometimes lose sight of too on that, is that self-diagnostic thing can lead you down a rabbit hole that actually causes bigger problems later on.
Absolutely.
I mean, how many times I don't know if you see it, Travis, I'm a part of a lot of like pickup truck pages and things like that, specifically the Ford page. I'm a part of the Ford, F-Series page. And guys talk about, oh, this is leaking, right?
Yeah, and I just talked about this morning.
Like, seriously. And it's like every one of them jump on there, well, this is what's happening. And it's like, you look and it's like, what are they talking about? Like, why do they think it's that? And then come to find out, you get through 94 comments, and the actual problem was the oil filter was loose. Like, so the engine's not blown up like comment number 3 said. No, it's just a loose oil filter or a bad, gasket or, but it just, people misdiagnose stuff. And I mean, I've seen people pull off some pretty big parts of their truck. I've seen guys taking the intercoolers out because the intercooler's got to be melting down. And and it's literally something so simple as like a cracked hose.
So on the group that I'm on, it's for the 5th gen Ram page, and everybody's posting about how their back windows are leaking.
I got to stop you a second. Did anybody else just hear that?
Yeah, what was happening out there?
It sounds like Transformers.
Yeah.
Sounds like something getting drug across the floor for sure.
I don't know. That felt like a Transformer.
It was really weird.
It was weird. I'm sorry. Continue.
So they're saying that their back windows are leaking because of the third brake light being installed wrong. And I said it to Chad, I'm like, man, I should almost just take my third brake light off just to take a look. He's like, if it's not leaking, don't touch the dang thing. Like, it's going to leak now. So now I'm going to be looking at it every day just because there's 30 people on there with the same truck as mine saying that their back windows are leaking.
That sounds about right. But that's the truth, though, is it's like it got you thinking about something you didn't even have to think about.
I shouldn't have to.
Yeah. It's actually funny you said that because last night I sent a picture of my race car to my buddy. My buddy lives in Arizona, and I sent him a picture because I redesigned the bumper mounts on the front of my race car. And I sent it to him. And instantly he's like, oh, that's going to bend this. And I was like, wait, what? Why? And he's like, oh, I've seen it on another car. The guy bent it. And I'm like, well, now I'm worried about that. Like, I wasn't worried about that until now. And he's like, oh, I didn't mean to worry. I'm like, well, now I can't stop thinking about it. Like, now I think I need to change it again. But, like, I really was excited because I changed my bumper mounts because I've been known for crashing. I don't know if you guys are aware of this or not. But I had a pretty weak part of my car, the front end, where the bumper meets. The way the bumper...
That's not why you're crashing.
No, you're right. It's the crashing that causes this to happen. But it's the lack of skill is actually why I crash. But anyway, so when I hit something with the front bumper, instead of the bumper bending, the frame's been bending because the bumper is so, like, rigid. So I thought, like, make it less rigid, right? A bumper is cheaper than a frame. Like, let's make the bumper fold. So I weakened up the mount, and I moved the mount to the front of my chassis, and I thought, oh, this will work good because I've seen it on somebody else's chassis, which it worked really well. And instantly, like, I was super proud of it, got it all done, and then that's what my buddy texted me. He's like, oh, that's going to bend the frame worse. I'm like, now I'm worried it's going to bend the frame worse.
That's why you don't show people anything?
I know. I'm just not going to show anybody anymore. But I was pretty proud of it, and now I'm not proud of it.
He was probably upset that he didn't think about it and then wants to shit on your idea.
Hey, I wish that was the case, but I don't think that's what it is. I think he's legitimately concerned I'm going to wreck my race car again because he ends up fixing it sometimes.
It's probably right.
Maybe it's valid.
Yeah. So anyways.
Maybe when you decide to crash into the wall, slow down before you hit it and you won't bend your frame as much.
Oh, is that how you do it?
Or just try not crashing. That might work too.
I don't like that idea. No, that's not a good... Hey, what's this button do?
No, God! No, God, please, no! No! No!
That's literally fitting That's me. Literally every time I crash a car and I see the front frame.
I didn't know what that button did.
Yeah, if you had headphones, then you could hear it, but your headphones don't work. I'm sorry. Maybe next week. Kyle, will you fix his headphones next week? Maybe.
That wasn't very convincing.
He's got like this. Maybe. We'll find out. Stay tuned.
He's going to find out how good the support is for the people he's got to call to fix it.
Oh, that's a good point.
While he sits over there with working headphones.
Stand by.
Hey, I tried to use these.
Yeah.
Record. I tried to use multiple headphones.
He's yelling from the other side of the room. But yeah, you know, when you buy something, the true benefit of the product is going to be the product working, right? You know, a shiny new piece of technology that sits in the corner simply doesn't make you money or hold value. Just because it's sitting there doesn't make it worth anything. It's using it. So how many people buy import products and struggle to get their full capacity out of them simply because they have no idea what they're doing and nobody's there to answer the phone for them?
I think it happens pretty frequently.
I think so too. I think a lot of people give credit to products because they don't know any better. Oh, yeah, this machine works great. But they don't realize how ungreat it really is because they have nothing to compare it to.
Yep.
You know? Until they own a product like a ShopSabre. You know, like we've had many customers call us up like, my God, I didn't realize how bad my old machine was.
Right.
Because they didn't know better. Because all they knew is what they knew and there was nobody to show them better. So, you know, to me, that's a big thing is, you know, people struggle to get their full capabilities out of a product because they self-taught themselves. Nobody was there to teach them. You know, with ShopSabre, you have so many places to go and discuss questions, right? Whether it's direct to a live person here at ShopSabre, of course, in our building, who actually knows what the hell is going on, or Sabre Nation group, right? Where it's other users and literally thousands of people who already own our product. So you can get some tips and tricks. Hey, I'm cutting this material today and I've never done it. What do you recommend? Rather than trying to suffer your way through it, somebody can tell you, hey, I've done that. This is the best bit. This is the best speed that I've found. Yep. And you have a better starting point than trying to figure it out on your own. You have this wealth of knowledge, right? And then, you know, you start thinking about that and it's how cool is it to have Router Bob, right? He's a good go-to, right? He can give you a free lesson. He has 30 years of experience, and he has all these videos online. You know, there's an entire video gallery that's private. Think about that. All the private videos that we have that are outside of the public viewing videos. If you don't own a machine, you don't have any access to them.
They're a lot longer.
Yeah, but think about that. You have all of that at your disposal by buying a ShopSabre and having that, you know, resource that some people don't have that, right? So thinking about, you know, CNC router, CNC knife, CNC plasma, you have all these training videos where if you bought a product overseas, you get none of that. They probably don't even have a video.
Right.
Like, they might not even have a manual that is in English. I've seen that. Like, it's true, though. We've seen manuals show up, and the people have showed us this. And it's like, their manual, you can't even read it.
Yep.
How are you going to learn to run the product if you can't read the manual? You look at the pictures?
When it comes in metric.
Yeah.
Something.
Metric. I'm not good with metric numbers, not going to lie to you.
No.
Not going to lie. But, you know, again, that's just Router Bob, right? And then you have Lee Rodehamel, and he teaches our plasma side. Does a lot of private training stuff there, too. You know, most companies want to take your money, and few want to actually help after the fact. Companies like ShopSabre, though, we provide that support and that training, right?
Yep.
That education. To me, that's a win for you. If you're going to buy a product, I'd say you want somebody who's going to back it up. Do you not?
For sure.
100%.
ShopSabre.com. So what happens to your business if you get shorted on the training, education, or the support?
You could find yourself with a big paperweight.
Yeah, it's true, though. You have a giant paperweight, a piece of technology you can't use, right?
Mm-hmm.
And does it not bog down your team or your staff, too?
Right.
Absolutely.
You'll be frustrated.
Yeah, because they're not even that, but sometimes you just got to fumble your way through it, right?
Wasting time trying to figure out how to use the thing while your employees are sitting there waiting to actually use it and finish up jobs that you're working on.
Or your employer now has an excuse, right? Because it defocuses their time and energy. So I'm trying to figure this out. What do you want from me, boss? Like, they have a reason why they didn't get the job done. Because the machine wasn't working or they don't know how to do it.
Seems like it could build a lot of frustrations.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably true, too. You know, you find yourself with a broken product due to ignorance, then what do? What if you break the machine? Because you didn't know how to use it right.
Call ShopSabre.
Yeah, you buy a new machine. But, you know, you have to give up on a product and have something you spent a bunch of money on it not returning to your investment, right? What do you guys see? What do you guys hear?
I've had customers call me and say that they bought a machine, they've had it 6 months, they've never gotten it running, and they need to buy a ShopSabre because it comes with support. It's a true story.
Isn't that crazy?
They said it's just literally been collecting dust in the corner. And I don't know what they invested in it. I'm sure at least 15, 20,000 on a used machine even.
Yep.
And for what? Just throwing it away now.
Yeah. I mean, we let me tell you about a robot we purchased. We purchased a robot welder. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's pretty cool. Anybody have been out there and seen that?
Yeah.
That's
Like
awesome.
the arm welder.
Yeah, that robot welder.
Yeah.
Pretty sweet. But, you know, it's here to assist our trained welders, obviously, you know, because there's a lot of like repetitive parts that we have to, you know, weld over and over that really take very little time to do. And if you could lay out a bunch of them, you could just weld them right in a row. But instead we have a trained guy sitting there wasting his time setting up all that stuff versus welding something that a robot can't do. So in reality, due to labor shortages, because they suck, we can't find more people to fill those spots. So instead, we bought a robot, right? And it shows up. Mind you, we have zero experience in robotic welding. Zero. And we got the file with digital instructions on how to use it. That's how it showed up. And a chat bot. I can go on the internet and I can talk to a chat bot.
Good.
Oh, cool. This is good. This is real good. Now I got a chat bot answering generic answers to everything and digital instructions. And I got to learn how to run a robotic welder.
That thing was pretty expensive too, wasn't it?
Yeah. It wasn't cheap.
To get no support.
Yeah. So you talk to the chat bot and it keeps sending you links to videos. That's what it does. Like whenever I ask a question, it just sends me a link.
So it deciphers what your voice is saying and then sends you something based
No,
on
it's
what
a
it thinks?
typed chat bot.
Oh, you type it.
Like,
okay.
like talking on the internet. And then it sends you links. And it vaguely shows you what you want to know. It's super cool.
It's a good way to get me frustrated.
It's a good thing I don't have to deal with it. I'll tell you that much. But Billy, thankfully, he's a saint when it comes to this stuff. He's been spending his time. Billy runs our welding department, and he spent a bunch of time going through it. And you know how frustrating it is to see companies sell your product and then disappear after buying it, especially when you don't do that. Like the level of frustration I have with that, only because of the fact that we've had to teach ourselves. But unfortunately, that's like common in this world today. People accept that. Like that's normal. Well, that's just the way it is. Most companies focus on the green, right? That money. That's all they care about. And less on the people. And for us, that's never been that way. So like when I see it happen, it makes me so frustrated because I'm like, I could never run a business that way. Like I could never put the people behind. To me, the people are most important. You know, the entire value to me is the support and warranty and all the stuff that comes along with it, right?
Yeah, and I mean having that reputation
Yeah.
that people can tell the people, yeah, you know, if you do have an issue, they're right there to fix it.
Yeah.
Or, you know, walk you through getting it to working right, and they know they're not going to be hung out to dry and figuring it out on their own.
For the record, that robot's sweet now that we got it working. You guys all saw it, obviously, but it's pretty sweet. Once
I
you got it
haven't
working.
seen it actually working, but I've looked at it. It looks cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I want to see that actually welding stuff. That'd be awesome.
Stand really close to it.
I don't think I want to do that.
I want the arm to hit you in the head.
Maybe knock some sense into
Don't
me.
actually do that, please. But no, like I said, the education and the support are just as critical as the actual product, in my opinion. Like, again, greatest product in the world, no support might not be worth a whole lot. You know, had a guy the other day trying to, haggle with us for more discounting, in trying to get one of our sales reps to, keep bringing the price down for him. And, I tried to explain the value of the discount he'd already received, plus the support, the training, and the product itself. And in the end, he was willing to walk away because I couldn't add a third discount. And it's like, unfortunately, this is the case where support and training likely will sneak up on that person later on. Because, yeah, they're going to get something at the price point that they want, but I guarantee you it's going to come with less support and, training than what we're going to provide. And because he went somewhere else and the sales guy gave him, an extra discount, he'll end up buying that, right?
Well, and I think it's something we all say, but something that really holds true. You get what you pay for.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's worth spending a little bit more the first time around.
Everybody will say that, though, until they're in the shoes where they have to spend more. Like, I'm a firm believer of that. Like, you get what you pay for until you're not the one, until you're the one trying to buy something, then you're like, well, this is just as good. No, it's not.
But
It's
not.
probably not. Like, 9 out of 10 times, it's less for a reason. So, you got to remember that companies' overhead is related to their product costs a lot of times. And a lot of times, you're going to get what you pay for when it comes to that stuff. And buying an import machine with lacking support, I don't care if they say they're going to support you. The company who built it isn't it. What happened over there? Did you fall out of your chair? I think he fell out of his chair. But the company that sold it to you is halfway around the world. Like, that's the company that really sold it to you. You just bought it through a middleman. Mm-hmm. Like, the middleman doesn't care. At the end of the day, if the middleman gets cut out because there's not enough margin or he doesn't think it's worth his time, he doesn't care anymore. But you're stuck with that product halfway around the world.
Yep.
And that's what people forget about. Like, there are even a lot of our competitors, name brand companies that you can think of right now who import products, they switch products every few years. The model, the parts they're using, whatever it is, because the OEM is going to stop supporting it anyways. So what do? They switch brands. They switch supplier. And that leaves you to do one thing. Figure it out on your own or upgrade the machine.
Which will cost you money.
Probably. Not many people upgrade for free, right?
Correct.
You know, now you think about something like ShopSabre. You know, we got Sabre Nation University, lifetime tech support. All of that comes with a real value, does it not?
Absolutely.
For sure.
Especially in a world that lacks customer service. I feel like we're winning in that department.
Well, you call one main number and
one number.
Somebody picks up.
Yeah, you don't have multiple numbers you got to call. That's kind of nice.
You're not dealing with a chat bot?
No chat. Well, we do have a chat bot, actually.
Do we?
Yeah, it's on our website. But it's not the only form of communication. You know what happens at the end of the chat bot if it doesn't give you the answer you want? You click the button and it calls us. Yeah.
Didn't even know that.
Yep, right on our website.
I had no idea.
Yep, tech support page, chat bot.
Huh.
Travis just learned something. You know how I know that chatbot doesn't cause problems? Travis didn't know anything about it. Nobody's called him and told him it sucked. But yeah, we've had that since the beginning of HubSpot.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't click on that link very often, but I do periodically.
Yep. Pretty awesome. Huh. But yeah, it's but that's the thing is like we don't rely on that chatbot, right? It's there for those who maybe after hours got a question. It gets you to some information, but ultimately, if something doesn't go the way you're expecting it, it gets you a real person. And that's what it's all about, is getting you in touch with real people.
I mean, I think that last 30 seconds just proved that. Like, we had no idea it was even there.
I was going to say,
so,
nobody
like,
said your chatbot didn't work.
No idea.
Yeah.
So, just shows that we focus on the human element of it and actually talking to people. And
people
dealing
call
with it.
me. Yeah, for sure.
Well, I think you need to expect support is why. You know, like, don't give companies a pass for bad service. Just because they're imported, just because it was cheaper, like, they still took your money.
And they should stand behind it. If they're not willing to, then they're not worth your money.
For sure.
And if you want the best support,
ShopSabre.com.
that's where I would go. Chad, that was ShopSabre.com in case you're wondering.
I heard that one.
Oh, you heard that one? That's good. But yeah, that to me is, you know, what people, I think, lose track of when it comes to support and education. So, you know, that's my spiel about it, I guess. Anything that I'm forgetting or anything that you guys want to add in there when it comes to support and education.
If you don't own a ShopSabre yet, you should probably get one so you can get the support and training we offer.
Nice sales plug. I like it. That's good.
I agree with Travis.
Chad agrees. Sorry, he was busy bidding out Travis's basement.
Do you guys have a way people can get in touch with you?
No.
You can usually email me at travis@shopsabre.com.
ShopSabre.com has a find a quote or get a quote button.
Well played, Chad. Well played. But yeah, I mean, like I said, if you ever need to get a hold of us, you know, the other thing too, when you own a machine, you do have access to after-hour support as well. And then we also have, obviously, our social media pages that you can always reach out to, and they'll help direct you to a person that can help you too. So Facebook, Instagram, TikTok,
Twitter,
MySpace,
LinkedIn.
You know, I wonder how many people actually go to MySpace after this. Like, do they really have a MySpace? No, we do not have a MySpace. Yet. Kyle's working on that right now.
You could make a page on the website that like forwards to something that looks like MySpace with ShopSabre stuff.
It just plays awesome music.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Maybe it just plays this noise. It's like a club when you get to it. I like it.
Then
but
you could have like the sales team and all the support team like listed as the top friends on the page. Just make it look like a mocked up MySpace page with everybody's pictures. That'd be kind of fun, actually.
Chad would love it.
I think we have a few videos we need to get finished up before we worry about building the mock MySpace.
I think we should talk more about this mock MySpace. I think it's a great idea. Of course, we should probably implement this by Monday at the latest.
I thought you weren't going to be here Monday.
I'm not. That's why I need to see it done.
No, you're going to be here. Why are you not here Monday? Are you not here Monday?
We're playing golf.
Oh, exactly.
You guys are going golfing.
We're. Yeah, so both of us.
Yeah, I was going to say, I just found out now that two of you are gone Monday. This is going great.
They're gonna need a caddy, so I guess I'm out too.
Well, we'll have a laptop on the golf cart, so one of us will be able to work at one time or another, maybe.
This is going terrible. You driving a golf cart with a laptop in it just seems dangerous enough.
I would have the laptop out when I was waiting to tee off.
I feel like that's a lie.
They'd get 1 minute per tee box.
You know, I was thinking about the Masters this weekend when I was watching it. And I was thinking to myself, watching everybody tee off, and they have all those people lined up, like way down there. Like they're lined up. And this guy's driving the ball like straight down the middle. Like, I guarantee you I'm hurting somebody every time I tee off. Like, man, it's amazing more people don't get hit.
Yeah, and like when they do hit it in the woods, then people still stay like lined up. You know, they're 3 feet apart, letting this guy hit it through a little window of.
Did you see
just,
the tree that fell?
Yeah, it's crazy. Nobody got hit though.
Dude, I don't know how somebody didn't get killed.
Unbelievable.
Like that was a big tree, and like people didn't move very fast. They were just like, "Oh, this tree's coming down right next to me."
It was funny watching it because like you could tell everybody heard it.
Yeah.
Heard something happening because everybody like started looking, and then all of a sudden it's there.
It's there. Yeah. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I don't know how it didn't hurt somebody. Thankfully, it didn't. I mean, obviously, but man, like that tree falling and that, like you said, just that stuff. You watch. Was it Mickelson? I think the last day was like in the trees. And he had to hit like through 2 trees, and there were some people sitting there. I don't even know. Maybe it wasn't Mickelson. I don't know who it was, but
it was in the trees probably.
Okay, but yeah, so it was Mickelson in the trees, but yeah, like you said, nobody moves. They're just like, yeah, they're professionals. I'm not trusting you.
I still wouldn't trust it, man.
I'm not trusting you. You already ended up in the trees, bro. Like I am not standing next to you, Shankopotamus.
I was more shocked than the trees about Sam or the amateur not getting paid at all.
Yeah, they never do.
You guys, like,
Wait,
well,
what?
because
However,
they never place. They never make it to the last day. So of course, this guy makes it to the last day, and he's surrounded by people getting $300,000, and he gets nothing.
Zero?
Yeah, that's always been a rule. But now with the NIL things that college kids can have, he was making money all weekend with people calling him and
saying,
hey, let me put my logo on.
I don't know
shirt.
anything about that.
Certain some amateurs get to play in the Masters. You win like a tournament or something.
Oh, really?
You can play in the Masters as an
By
amateur.
winning another tournament, they basically win their way in.
Yep.
And then if they place higher than 12th, they have they get their pro card for the whole next year. Well, no amateurs made it past the first 2 rounds.
And this guy made it to the last.
time. Yeah,
What's his name?
Sam Bennett. He
Sam
was
Bennett.
like in 16th or 18th place or something.
So amateurs never collect the prize money, but just because they're still college eligible, so they can't take money. And if you're not
Bullshit.
So
Chad's really mad.
And plus if he turned professional before the event, then he can't play in it because he qualified as an amateur. It's just they're weird rules for amateurs and professionals.
No wonder why people are going. I bet he signs with Liv.
I mean, maybe he was trying to play in a college event the Monday after the Masters, but he was too tired, so he didn't. But yeah, he had people all weekend long.
Oh, is that guy? Okay,
Yeah.
I heard that. Like he's like, oh, he's played so many holes, and now he's gonna go play 36 tomorrow or something.
He was supposed to tee off like 13 hours after he finished at Augusta.
And so he ended up obviously not going.
But he had people calling him all weekend, companies saying, hey, we'll pay you this amount of money to put our logo on your shirt tomorrow, and we'll send you clothes and have you wear it for this amount of money. So he was making some money.
Did he
on the
wear?
side.
Did he have logos on his clothes?
Oh yeah. Like by Sunday he did. Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
He's walking around. He's got like Nike down his.
I guess
side.
I didn't notice that. That's good. At least he got some. I
That's
went
crazy.
to like look specifically for that. I'm like, I wonder how much this guy gets. He's going to go back to the college campus with a few $100,000.
Yeah, but
he's
like
going to run that place.
If you look back
place.
if you look back to prior years before the NCAA allowed those guys to make money off their name and image or whatever, those guys would have no logos on their clothes at all for the whole time they were at Augusta. But yeah, this kid.
That's
because
crazy.
Now that the rules change and they can make money for those types of things by using their name, it was cool to see that he actually.
I'll
got
tell you
something
what,
out of it.
I'd be out there shanking the balls like crazy if they weren't paying me just to create YouTube sensation. I'm making a TikTok, tee it off.
You wouldn't have been playing on the last day.
I would have got to the last day and then made some money off of TikTok and Instagram. I would have just turned sideways and tee off into the crowd.
That's the other thing too about the Masters is no one's allowed to run. Like you can't run, and then you can't bring in your phones.
You can't run?
No, like when they open the gates to let you in, you have to walk to where you're gonna go. So no running.
It's like-
going up. It's that place is
I-
that place is
You're
like,
talking about from the crowd.
For anybody,
anywhere.
Well,
I was like, why
any
would a golfer
players.
want to run? Like, I'm so
Like
confused.
nobody, there's no running.
yeah, that place has some intense
you run,
rules, man.
you're kicked out.
Really?
Yep, see you later.
You
Yep.
you pull your phone out, you're kicked out.
So the whole day they're watching golf and they can't even take a phone out?
Yep.
Yeah, you can't. No. And if they find you with it, they'll like take down your information for like your tickets, and they won't let you buy tickets ever again.
What?
Or like if you give your tickets to somebody else or sell them to somebody else, they'll ban you from ever having tickets again. It's crazy.
That's a real letdown.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
I think it's pretty odd. It's probably one of the last things you can do in the world.
Yeah.
Where you can go hang out and have normal conversations with people, and they're not head down, buried in their phone.
I see your lips moving, but I can't make out the words. I'm deaf.
Sorry, I didn't hear. I had my face on my phone.
See?
No, that's the truth though. Like that's true. That's cool.
Like everyone there is present for that moment.
But I mean, they have a bazillion cameras on that thing at any given time.
But the person there is present.
But
they control all the rights of the videos and stuff.
Yeah.
That's why they do it.
Did wasn't there a dude that hit 2 hole-in-ones too?
As in the par
3
3
on the par
thing.
3 thing, yeah.
Isn't that
Those
crazy?
last 2 holes, that's nuts, dude.
That's nuts.
Anybody can do that.
How many hole-in-ones you got, Chad?
1,700.
1,700. That's a lot. A lot of hole-in-ones. Cool. Well, on that note, I think it's time to get back to work. So I'm Brandon.
I'm Chad.
I'm Nick.
I'm Travis.
I'm Kyle.
Thanks for talking shop with ShopSabre.